So today we will start our new chapter, chapter 7, the matchless gift, liberation in Krishna consciousness. Let's see. If we simply worship the original person, Adi Purusham, Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Ham Bhajami, we worship the original personality, the origin person, Govinda, basically I. Lord, Brahmaji is saying this in Brahm Samhita. We need not fear being misled by anyone. So, I don't know. Today only, when I was practicing my yoga, so I was remembering my past days where I was struggling so much about my future to basically build my career. And there I realized that I was stuck somewhere, like stuck very badly, and I was trusting to those people who were actually misleading me. I really realized this thing today. And how Krishna has actually saved me. And every devotee can relate with this that Krishna has actually saved us. Otherwise, even we have no idea what we have been doing right now, what we could have been doing right now. There is no idea about how miserable life we would have been living right now if Krishna would have not saved us. Can you really relate with this? Like suddenly this thought came, suddenly I was like those past things, I was remembering those past things where I was struggling so much and I was trusting those people who were actually misleading me. And I was trusting them blindly. Although I knew it that I am following a wrong path to build my career, but then also, like, I was just ignoring it. I was thinking that there is no other way for me except except following this path. But later Krishna came and he turned everything up right. So this is very, very true. I was really reflecting on this that I was really fearing for my future career, that what will I be doing in my future if I will not build a nice career. But now, as Krishna came, so there is no scope of fear. And this is what Prabhupada is telling here, that if we simply worship the original person, Krishna, we need not to fear being misled by anyone. There is no fear of anything because Krishna is there to maintain. Actually, Krishna is always there to maintain everybody, but it's just matter of being conscious and being aware of the original person. Sridhar Swami, who is Sridhar Swami? Do you remember? He is the original commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, right? We read his commentaries in Srimad Bhagavatam. Explains that one can reach the perfection of life simply by devotional service. This is a brilliant line. Perfection of life. One can reach to the perfection of life simply by devotional service. There is no need to take any headaches or any pains, any struggles, nothing. Simply practice your devotional service. Our only business is to please our Supreme Personality, and He will take care of everything. Kevalya Bhaktya. One need not to be dependent on any other process. Sukhdev Goswami says that one can put an end to material life by one stroke. Kevalya. There is no need to first undergo severe penance and austerity, practice celibacy, control the mind and the senses, give in charity, perform great sacrifices, and become very truthful and clean. Now, what does that mean? See, often people think that if we are asked to take shelter of Krishna, if we are asked to perform, to practice devotional services, so first of all, we need to become very truthful and clean and very pure. Then only we can surrender to Lord. But this is not reality. This is not true. You can end, you can put an end to material life by one stroke. That is accepting Krishna consciousness. That's it. As soon as any person he accepts Krishna consciousness, he immediately rises to the highest position. And this is what Krishna is saying. See, we read it in our previous chapter. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma shucha. That you just surrender unto me and I will protect you from all your sinful reactions. So you really don't have to give up your sinful activities. You really don't have to think about that I have to give up all my first I will have to give up all my sinful activities. I have to become pure and truthful. Then I can go to Krishna. No, you simply go to Krishna and Krishna will free you from all your sinful reactions. So simply by one stroke means just by this decision that I will take Krishna's shelter, I will serve Lord Krishna, I will practice my devotional services. So, just by this decision, basically accepting Krishna consciousness, one immediately rises to the highest position. So, there is no need to first undergo severe penance and austerity and practice celibacy and all. Even if any person is not able to practice all these things at first, then also it is all okay. Simply start chanting and hearing about Lord, and you will see everything will take its place by time. So, simply by one stroke, by accepting Krishna consciousness, one immediately rises to the higher position. By just taking to Krishna consciousness, one develops all transcendental qualifications. Isn't this? Just see the beauty of Krishna consciousness. We really don't need any qualification to accept Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is for every person, even the most sinful person. There is no need of any qualification for accepting Krishna consciousness. The goldsmith uses a small hammer and taps the gold many times. But the blacksmith uses a large hammer and with one stroke, his job is finished. I got hurt. Anyways, so this is the blacksmith's method. We take the big hammer of bhakti and finish all material life. See the beauty of Krishna consciousness. So, other processes are like small hammers. this yoga, Gyan yoga, Dhyan yoga, this process, this meditation, that meditation. So those are like small hammers. And we have no idea about how many lifetimes it will take for one to rise, to develop all transcendental positions which a person gains just by accepting Krishna consciousness. The day any person, he decided that I will chant Hare Krishna, he has not recited the mantra yet. He just thought, he had this desire in his heart that, oh, I will chant Maha Mantra. Then that moment, immediately, that was the moment when he rises to the highest position. And what is the proof of this? Lord Brahma, he himself start making madhupark, the divine drink for that person who desires to chant the names of Krishna. He has only desired. He has not uh, spoke holy name yet, recited holy name yet, but he has just desired. We read this in which shloka? 1.1.2. Kritbhi. There comes Kritbhi. What's that? Yeah, there one word comes Kritvi. Kritvi means that any person who desires to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, he has already did so many piety in his past life. That's why now he is desiring to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is not ordinary. This is not ordinary. There is no need to undergo the many lesser disciplines, nor to follow any other process. In actuality, there is no possibility of even following the other Vedic process to perfection. Why? Because this bhakti yoga is the most potent process, and there is no need of practicing any other processes. So there is no possibility of even following the other Vedic processes to perfection. For instance, the Hatha Yoga process would say you have to become a strict brahmachari and sit in the forest with your body at a right angle to the ground, pressing your nose with your finger for 6 months. Now, see, for me, practicing pranayam for 10 minutes is very difficult. Today also I decided that I will be practicing yoga. Although we are not this body, but it is important to keep this body healthy so that we may practice our devotional services nicely. But then I skipped the pranayam, the breathing exercise. I just skip that because it is too much for me to do that pranayam even for 10 minutes. Like it's really too much for me. And you see here in this yoga, Hatha yoga, this is the process. Very first thing is that you can't stay in your house, your room. You need to step out and you need to go to a forest. You need to go in the forest and you need to become a strict brahmachari, perfect celibate. So, yeah, we already discussed this point that practicing celibacy means uh, not only avoiding the whatever physical things, but also there should be no any thoughts related to opposite gender, or there should be like one should avoid to Um, like there are many different things which one should take care to follow a perfect celibate. And yeah, this is second point. And third is you need to go and you need to sit. Basically, you need to concentrate and you need to sit in a particular posture and you need to press your nose with your finger for 6 months. Could follow such an instruction. Since such a method is not practical in this present age, and you will find many people doing this process also, but they do not do it nicely, like the complete process. They are not able to follow the complete method which is being told in scriptures because it is not practical in this age of Kali because our bodies are not that strong. The goldsmith method has to be discarded. Which one is the goldsmith method? The small hammer one. The solution is to take the blacksmith's hammer of Krishna consciousness and finish off all sinful reactions immediately. And you will see that this is our tendency that we nowadays, we always need quick results of whatever we are doing, whatever we are practicing. We always seek for quick results. Is it not? And you can see, as we are following Krishna consciousness, you can see results in your life, the transformations that you're experiencing, the reciprocations with Krishna. You can see this. I was really laughing today. There is one devotee. So it was New Year. So he went for some celebration and stuff. He thought that I will be taking some break from this Krishna consciousness. It's been like too much now. I need some break. But now he again came and he realized that whatever practices I am practicing in Krishna consciousness, it is it is really a gift and nothing can it was his realization only. He was saying that dialoguing like this about Krishna is a gift which he missed when he went for that New Year celebration. So this is true. Any person once he came to this process of Krishna consciousness, and coming in Krishna consciousness means associating with those devotees who are enthusiastically following this process of Krishna consciousness. Only that way we can become enthused to practice this process. Is it not? Just like you see, Prabhuji, he has initiated one amazing thing that we can also report our extra japa now. So you can see by this initiative, like devotees, they are like, they are busy in chanting. Like they are giving more priority to chanting now. So I also saw, like, wow, devotees are reporting. I should also chant. I will also report. So this way, when we see other devotees, they are so enthusiastic to follow the process. Then when we see such devotees, some enthusiastic devotees, then we automatically become enthused. So I saw one Mataji, she chanted extra rounds and her score was high. And Prabhuji praised her that wow, great, great, keep going. So then after reading those comments, I just decided I will also chant more rounds. And I did. And later today, I saw that there were more devotees who chanted more rounds than even me. Then that, that inspired me to chant even more. So this way, when we see other devotees following the process nicely, then we also become enthused. So this is important to associate with such devotees. Only this way we can, you know, understand the value, and we can actually relish our Krishna consciousness journey. On the other hand, if we associate with such devotees who themselves need so much of motivation to walk on this path, then how can we become enthused? So it is important that we associate with such devotees who are enthused to follow the process. So this Krishna consciousness process is like the blacksmith's hammer, a big hammer which a blacksmith hits, and what happens? Uh, yes, one stroke. With that one stroke of large hammer, his job is finished. So same way, when we take the blacksmith's hammer of Krishna consciousness, then we finish off all the sinful reactions immediately. And now every practice, every name that we are chanting, or whatever we are hearing about Krishna, that is invoking our heart for, that is invoking our love for Krishna. Very amazing thing Prabhuji mentioned, that this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will make you mad for Krishna. Actually, Srila Prabhupada tells this, that this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, will invoke madness in your heart for Krishna, which is the ultimate perfection, highest perfection of this human form of life, that you become mad for Krishna. So, I was reflecting on this point also, that you will see in this world, people, they become mad for any boy, he becomes mad for girl, or any girl, she becomes mad for a boy. She thinks that I am in mad. I am mad in her love or his love, but that is actually not love. So you will see whatever things you see in this material world, you will find that those things are coming from Krishna only. So here people, they falsely assumes, means they think that I am mad, I am mad in love with that girl or with that boy. But we actually need to become mad in love for Krishna. So whatever you see in this world, it is actually coming from Krishna. This is very amazing. Moving forward, by devotional service, one has to become Vasudeva Parayana, a devotee of Lord Vasudeva or Lord Krishna. Vasudeva is another name of Lord Krishna, who is the son of Mother Devaki and Vasudev. In other words, we have to learn how to become lovers of Vasudeva. If the world takes up this Krishna consciousness, the planet is certain to be peaceful. And you see how devotees, they also, reciprocates with each other very lovingly. Why? Because Krishna is there in center. So this way, if the whole planet takes up this process of Krishna consciousness, then there will be no wars. There will be peace. So there is one Mataji, she is from Israel, and I'm trying to cultivate her also in Krishna consciousness. She was sharing this thing with me, that she is in Israel and war is happening there, and she is there, she's hiding in bomb shelter for the sake of protection. So see how people they are being so cruel to each other because they are falsely identifying themselves with this body. And that's why they are, engaging themselves in such wars. But any person who will take up this process of Krishna consciousness, he will understand who he really is and what is his real uh, state or identification. But because of lack of knowledge, people are doing such things, wars and stuff. Now the earth is quickly becoming a hellish planet. And if this Krishna consciousness is not taken up, this hellish condition will progress despite all advances in education and economic development. So, yes, this is all true. Therefore, those who are thoughtful should take this movement very seriously and try to understand its value and try to make other people also understand about this auspicious process. It is not something manufactured by one man or a group of disciples. It is authoritative and age old, based on the Vedic literatures which date back thousands of years. Yes, Srila Prabhupada tells this point that Krishna consciousness is not an imposition on living entity or on any human being. It is not an imposition. It is our natural constitutional state that we become conscious about Krishna. Our only reason of sufferings and misery is that we have forgotten Krishna. This is the only reason of our sufferings. There is no any other reason. And that's why people they have forgotten Krishna, and that's why they are identifying themselves with false designations and fighting like cats and dogs. So one should understand that this is not an imposition on any human being, as it is not manufactured by any man or a group of persons. Niharam eva bhashkara. Bhashkara refers to the, sorry, it's bhaskara. Sorry, my pronunciation is not nice of the verses in English, but I'm trying it my best. Bhaskara refers to the sun. The sun immediately dissipates mist or fog as well as darkness. Yes, because sun is so bright. As stated before, we should try to make the sun of Krishna rise within our hearts. There is the darkness of illusion of Maya, so we should try to make the sun of Krishna rise within our hearts. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, also it is stated that Krishna is like the sun and that Maya, the illusory energy, is darkness. Jaha Krishna taha nahi mayar adhikar. As soon as the sun of Krishna is present, the darkness of Maya immediately disappears. Just like as soon as sun rises, so it dissipates the fog and darkness, isn't it? So same way, as soon as the sun of Krishna is present, what does that mean? As soon as we are in contact with Krishna, whatever devotional services we are doing for Krishna, then at that time darkness of Maya immediately disappears. Now, this is very amazing. I was really thinking about this yesterday. So, even, when I was working, house chores and all, when I was cooking or cleaning, so at that time also, I was constantly chanting out loud. And at that time, I was thinking in my mind, I was very aware that right now, even I'm doing ordinary things, cleaning and all, but right now, when I am chanting, then at this time also, uh, I was remembering that verse, 𝗰𝗵𝗵𝗧𝗲𝗹𝗵𝗺, that at that moment, when we are not serving Krishna, we have forgotten Krishna, then at that movement, sun is decreasing our lifespan. So, I was thinking in my mind that time that right now, even I am doing any ordinary thing, but as I am chanting, so sun is not decreasing my lifespan. So, this is amazing. Even if you are doing any ordinary thing, although that is also not ordinary because we are dovetailing it towards Krishna, but you can, chant constantly, continuously. Just chant, keep chanting. If you are taking a shower, if you are washing clothes, you're dusting, cleaning, or you are washing your dishes, whatever things you are doing. So you can keep chanting all the time. And every name that you are chanting, it is purifying you. It is invoking the love of Krishna in your heart more and more. It is increasing your madness for Krishna. Every name, every holy name of Krishna that you're chanting, even if you are not able to hear it, that is also completely fine. Like I'm talking about extra chanting. When you're chanting your 16 rounds, you should definitely try to chant it very attentively. But yes, when you're doing your work and you're constantly chanting, speaking Mahamantra out loud, then that is, invoking your madness for Krishna. This is really amazing. Krishna consciousness is extremely amazing. Without following this process, it is very difficult to overcome the ocean of darkness, Maya. But if we simply follow this process, then this, like overcoming the ocean of darkness becomes very easy. Basically, conquering this war and defeating Maya becomes very easy for us. Just remember this thing, dear devotees. Every time you are serving Krishna, you have won a war against Maya. Every time. We are on a war against Maya. We are fighting a war against her. And she's always there. She's always making her efforts nicely to defeat us. But when we are serving Krishna, basically, we really don't have to say to Maya. We simply have to say yes to Krishna. Saying yes to Krishna means engaging our senses in service to Krishna. And at that moment, Maya is defeated automatically. You only need to put your efforts to please your Lord. You don't have to put your efforts to defeat Maya. When you're pleasing your Lord, when you're serving Krishna, then Maya is automatically defeated. If we simply teach people to surrender unto Krishna, God, all the fog and mist of illusion will disappear. Easy, right? The math is very simple. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, for making it more interesting and pleasing to ears, what you can do, you can chant Hare Krishna in different tunes. It is very amazing. Like different tunes you can chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Or like different in different rhythm. And this way you will enjoy. You will relish chanting, and you will automatically be wanting to chant more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It becomes very pleasing, isn't it? So you can do like this also. Just note this that this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a magical mantra. This will give you everything. This will give you the highest perfection. What is the highest perfection? Krishna. This will give you Krishna. And when you will get Krishna, then there will be there will be nothing else which will be left to attain. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra will give you Krishna. Only this can give you Krishna, love of Godhead. So we should just, keep ourselves engaged in chanting more and more. This is really amazing. You just chant as much as you can, even if you are not able to hear it nicely. This is amazing. The more one goes on chanting, the more the darkness of many lives is dissipated. Cheto darpan marjanam. By chanting, one can cleanse the dust from mirror of his mind and perceive things very distinctly. Now, what does that mean? See, as we chant more and more, so the material contamination of our mind, of our heart, it dissipates. And as it dissipates, as our consciousness purifies, then you will see we are able to understand the essence of scriptures more nicely. And this you can test this today only. You just go back, and whichever verse you heard or read few months ago, you just try to read that verse, that shloka again, or hear that lecture, whichever lecture you heard few months ago. You just hear that lecture again, and you will find that you are able to understand the philosophy or whatever knowledge more nicely than before. So our grasping power, this power of perceiving things becomes more and more strong because our consciousness is purifying. The dust, this chanting is cleaning the contaminated material dust of our minds. Thus, one will know what he is, what God is, what this world is, what our relationship with God in this world is, how to live in this world, and what our next life is. Such knowledge is not taught in schools, right? I was really, pondering on this also. See, in our schools, we have been reading all those textbooks Especially, I was remembering the English subject because it was my favorite subject. But like in schools, we were reading all those stories which were actually not real. And what if, okay, they are teaching English, nice, nice, that is nice thing. But what if instead of, teaching those false stories, they put stories about Krishna? Just like we read story about Lord Varahadev. It was very interesting. If you will, read that story from Veda base, you can read in English language, and you will find that you are actually reading the story of Varadev, just like you were reading stories in your school time. But those stories were fake, all fake, and it was completely waste of time. But if in schools, teachers, if they start teaching kids about the stories of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, then that will not only, invoke their interest to know more about Krishna, but that will also purify their hearts. And see, kids are already, they are very innocent, they are so nice. So, from the very starting, if they invoke this interest in Krishna, then definitely their future will be very, very bright. So, yes, we are never taught these things, this knowledge in school, where one is taught how to manufacture or acquire products for sense gratification. There is always a hard struggle going on involving man's attempt to dominate material nature. And that's why, I was really relating with this point. I was really not liking to go to school. And all might have gone with this phase. You might have cried before going to school. We don't like to go to schools. So now, can you see that why kids they really don't like to go to schools? Because, like, okay, they are not aware of this thing that the teachers will be teaching them, uh, what to say, something which is not really knowledgeable. They are not aware of this thing, but then also we don't like going to schools. So yes, you can see there is nothing beyond these four topics, sleeping, mating, eating, and defending. They just teach these things only in schools also, that how one can achieve all those things in their future. All right, now we will be continuing our discussion in our next class, if Rachna is willing. Okay, that would be a dream life. What would be a dream life? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, thank you so much for joining. Okay, Prabhupada books in schools. Yes. You can take initiative. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.